The reason that nothing is showing up for you is not because you're lazy, it's because you're burned out, all right? And this is the same thing that I was doing with myself in the past few weeks, where I was just dehydrated every single day. My sleep was shit. And that's the peak point hit me today, where my BP was just low as shit. And I just had to take a rest day for the last, it was today and the last day, yesterday. I had to take a rest from documenting my journey when it comes to the weight loss. If you don't know who I am, I'm Osei All, and I've been documenting my journey here on YouTube and on Instagram for the past 55 days, going from overweight to shredded. I've already lost 24 pounds. Right now, my weight is kind of like weight fluctuating, so I don't really know what current weight I am, but it's mostly moderate water weight right now. But this is a quote that I've written down here. And these were all the thought processes that I had today for myself when I was just trying to convince myself, yeah, rest is very important. Rest days are so much more important than I think. All right. The quote that I've written down here is, the man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination. All right. This is so important to understand. Most people are just looking at that destination and they're thinking, yeah, I'm just going to get shredded very fast in the next 3 months. It's the start of the year. Everybody's trying to get shredded fast. But most people won't be able to do it because they're just focusing on the results. My story. I've tried to get shredded for the past year and a half. When I just got overweight, I was binge eating every single night like a pig. And in the past few days, I've also been acting in the similar ways. I've stayed like in the maintenance phase. But at the same time, I've ate so much junk food that it kind of feels similar. And I've been kind of experiencing the same feelings again. Feeling bloated, feeling very shit after the dopamine spike from all the sugar and the junk food. And it's just such a shit feeling to experience, because you think you're just you're nurturing yourself, you're giving yourself love by giving yourself this food, this treat, But in the end, it just stabs you in the back, and you just get this big realization that, oh shit, I just messed up. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have stayed up in the till 4 a.m. in the morning. I shouldn't have eaten that much junk food. You always get that sting in your heart. And it's because we're looking at things from the short-term perspective. We're looking at it, yeah, I want it quick, but what about after you get it? Don't you have to maintain it? Or is going to be maintaining it far better? Like, you're going to be able to maintain it in a different way than you're going to be able to achieve it. You're going to do 10K, 15K steps and for the next 3 months. And then after you get the physique, you're going to slow down. You're going to up the calories and everything. It doesn't work like that. I'm telling you, it doesn't work like that. For a lot of people, it does. But statistically, literally 90% of people just go back to the old ways that they were acting. It's because it doesn't change you as a person. The six-pack does not make you a new character. It does not change your personality. It's literally just about changing a few psychological beliefs inside of your head. And most people don't do that correctly at all. And that's why they go back. 80 to 90% of people, ask ChatGPT, 80 to 90% of people don't even lose weight in the first place. They lose weight and then they gain it back, so they quit. And the people who actually lose the weight and they actually make a transformation, 80% of them just go back to their old selves because they haven't made the psychological changes. And I'm going to do that. I'm in the path to doing that if I don't make a psychological change right now, which is why I'm making this video. Which is why I'm talking to myself, which is why I'm reminding myself of these lessons of consistency over intensity. I want to be the guy who's focused on the 1-year vision. I want to be the guy who's focused on the 10-year vision. You know what I mean? And I've literally lost like 2.2 pounds in 3 days. I think it was like last week. I lost 2.2 pounds. It's like 1 kilograms. In 3 days whilst just maintaining, because I had lowered my cortisol levels. This is the big, I don't want to curse, this is the big mind freak moment where I had like, oh shit, you can just lose weight whilst being in a small deficit, not even worrying about so many things. You know what I mean? And that's why I actually skipped the gym on first day of January, because my sleep was shit, I had high cortisol levels, I was dehydrated. And yeah, I told myself I'm going to go tomorrow, but I didn't want to like force scarcity mindset. Woke up, my weight had gone up 1.4 pounds, and I thought immediately that, yeah, this is just like fat, when it's not. You know, when you wake up and your weight has gone up and you've eaten a bunch of junk food, but if you were in a deficit or you were maintaining, don't get discouraged, man. Don't get discouraged. You literally can't gain weight whilst you're maintaining or whilst you're in a deficit. If you have not overlooked the calories and by a lot, I'm telling you, like 1 pound of fat is just literally 3,500 calories, right? If I've gained 1.4 pounds, that's literally like 4,900 calories. I've literally written it down here. So I need to eat 3,900 calories per day for the last 3 days in order to gain 1.4 pounds of fat. But that didn't happen. You know what I mean? That didn't happen. It was just water weight, and my mind was just straight thinking, yeah, failure, you failed, you know, negative thoughts. It's easy to spiral into negative thoughts, brother. I'm telling you, it's easy to spiral into negative thoughts. I know I'm going around all the places, but I'm telling you, just the most important lesson that you can take away from this video is that don't make it about making it one day. Please, don't make it about making it one day. You can't make it in one day. And even if that day comes, that day you aren't gonna like feel very happy. I've lost 24 pounds of body weight. I feel a little bit better about my physique when I look in the mirror. But most of the times, I don't even really feel that much better about myself, bro. I still feel shit at times if I eat junk food. I still have the ability to like binge eat. I still have arguments with my family. I still have problems in my life. You know, that shit isn't going anywhere. The physique is just a manifestation of, or a better word is an amplification of your current personality, your current self. If you're degenerate, your degeneracy is going to get amplified once you get the physique. If you're a good person, your goodness will get amplified once you become shredded. It's just like money. You know, they say money is an amplifier of your personality. It's the exact same way. Yeah. It's not about making it one day. It's about lasting. It's about lasting. It's about having that physique, and it's about making it your own. You know what I mean? It's about lasting for years. It's about, because most people they fell off. You know, most of these rappers, if you look at them, most of these artists, most of these celebrities that went viral in 2017, they aren't viral anymore. You know, they aren't like, you don't see them anymore. You don't hear songs from them anymore. It's because it's literally like they probably had this mindset. They were working on their craft. They're chasing the trends. They're chasing the hype. They're chasing the short-term tricks and ways they could get attention fast. But the faster they got it, the faster they fell off. You know, the longer the come up, the more lengthened that you'll last inside of the game, because you get more experience, you get more knowledge, you make more mistakes. And that's something that I did not understand, and that's why I was pursuing the fast road so much. But extremism isn't the fast road, brother. I'm telling you, extremism isn't the fast road. Extremism is not the fast road. Trying to do it in 3 months will never get you there. Because 3 months, what is 3 months, man? In 3 months, I'm above people who are getting average results. I literally get above average results when it comes to weight loss. I have 1.3 pounds. I've been losing 1.3 pounds per week consistently for the last 4 months. Not a lot of people can actually say that. You know, it's actually a very good transformation. It's like I'm in the Ask ChatGPT, and it said like 65 to 75% of population can actually do that. Literally 70% consistent, something that I preach every single day, being 70% consistent rather than being 100% intense. But this is where the scarcity mindset comes in, right? I shouldn't really have any scarcity mindset. I shouldn't have really no scarcity mindset when it comes to this 2026, 2027, any years, you know. The goals that I've set, they're for the next 3 years. And this is something, I literally made a video like, I think a week ago or something, where I listed my goals for the next 3 years, and it was something about, yeah, Ferrari, a house, and you know, testimonials and results for people in the future who I'm going to be working with if I get my transformation as well. You know, I want to help other people as well. It's not just about making it about me. This channel is for holding myself accountable, but at the same time, it's about inspiring people who are on the journey, who failed as well, and also just giving hope, bro. Just giving hope to a person like you who's watching this, who's probably failed, who probably feels shit about himself right now because he's binge ate. I'm telling you, all of this will bypass. This too shall pass. That's a quote that I live by. This too shall pass. All of the problems that we have right now, they're not going to go away once we get shredded, but we just get stronger and we get used to them more. I'm telling you, bro, as someone who has achieved probably a little bit more than you, that's why you're watching this video, the problems will never go away. They'll last. They'll just stay. It's just about making the suffering fun. That's literally it. But talking about the goals point, I'm literally saying, like, those goals were meaningless. Those goals were meaningless. That's just bland bullshit. The Ferrari, the house, moving to America, helping those people out. Of course, it's good to, like, I want to help people out, of course. But it's not just about getting them results. You know what I mean? This is the thing that I wrote down here. These are the actual goals, the true goals for 2026, for 2027, for 2028, for 2029. All right? This is the most valuable piece of like sentence or 3 words that I've ever heard in my life till now, and things that I've actually implemented. And once you implement it, you're actually going to understand, because the path that you're going on is the path of extremism, which is going to just lead you astray. All right? It's these 3 words: consistency over intensity. Consistency over intensity. Consistency over intensity. These are the 3 words that have basically, this is a summarization of basically the entire advice that I give on this channel. All right, I want to document and not really give advice, but that's basically the biggest lesson that I've ever learned when it comes to losing 24 pounds in the last 4 months. All right, and that's the basically motto for 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, basically my life motto. And these are the actual real goals. All right, and why I say consistency over intensity is because I've chosen intensity over consistency for the past 7 years of my life, and it's been one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made. You know, ever since I was 13 years old, I wanted to have an aesthetic physique. Even right now, I don't have the best looking physique. You know, you can go on my Instagram, you can look at the physique. I'm like 15% body fat or something like that, but I'm not where I want to be. But I don't really obsess about the results anymore. But when I was 13 years old, I was really highly obsessing over the results, and that's why I failed. That's why I was never really going in hard when it came to the consistency, because I was focused on the intensity. You know, I was trying to chase perfection. I was trying to be intense at one for 2 weeks. And if I didn't see any results, I would just quit. And that just led to inconsistency throughout my entire teens. And now I'm about to turn 20 in the next like almost month. And this will be the number one lesson that I would give my 13-year-old self if I could ever just see him again. So these are the actual goals that I have for 2026. And I know you're thinking, like, what the hell is this guy talking about? You know, just go on with the advice, please. You know, what are you trying to talk about? What's the point that you're trying to make inside of this video? I'm telling you, this is very, very valuable. If you have set goals like, I want this physique, I want this car, I want this thing, best believe you're not going to achieve it. And I do not say that out of hatred. I do not say that out of discouragement. I'm telling you 100% you're not going to be able to achieve it, because the people who actually achieve those goals, and the only way that I've been able to achieve the transformation that I've done till now, which is not really that significant, but it's really significant for myself, it's been by just focusing on the daily actions that I can do every single day, and not the results. Not fantasizing and mentally masturbating about the physique and creating ChatGPT image generations of me with the physique and mentally masturbating to that and thinking about that all the time. You know, that's just bullshit. That's not going to get me anywhere. I'm not going to be getting anywhere if I'm just constantly fantasizing about the results, because the people who have the results don't fantasize about it. They already have the results. It's already normal for them. You know what I mean? They don't think about it that much. So these are the actual goals that I've set for the next year. Is having more volume and a consistent upload schedule. All right, I'm still working on it. I'm going to be experimenting more and more. Everything just comes out of experimentation, man. The flow is created through experimentation. No scarcity mindset in any area of my life. All right, Making content fun, uploading every single day and making it really fun, something that I've done till now, just imperfect action, not going out in the woods and then trying to make a video there, just making a video probably every single day, just documenting, just being imperfect on purpose. Completely detaching myself from likes or money and a six-pack as well, and losing weight as well. And this ties also to the detaching myself, scarcity mindset. Because more of these things will come from just making myself proud of my work instead of thinking about greed or thinking about the short-term results, that the fast results that I can get. There's no fast results. There's no shortcuts. That's all a lie. That's all bullshit. All right? All bullshit. So making myself proud of the work that I'm doing, whether it comes to the gym, whether it comes to these videos, improving my speech, improving the things that are just optimizing for impacting people. That's what I want to do. And I'm not really good at it right now, but I'm going to be improving. Ridding the perfectionist mindset and not giving a shit about the shit testing conversations that I have right now, for example, with family or whoever else that I'm talking about. I kind of get offended very quickly when it comes to a few topics, and that's a very feminine trait of mine, but I'm working on it. And that's why I have this as a goal. Changing people's lives through my content and coaching, something that I'm doing right now. I hope this video has been valuable till now, because I'm pouring all of the thoughts and emotions that I have till now to this. And having so much belief in myself that the come up never ends. I don't really understand, if people would understand that sentence. But it's like, what I mean by the come up never ends is, I want to feel like a beginner forever. I'm just learning more and more and more and more. And I'm just in that phase of where I'm never bored of just making content. I'm never bored of just going to the gym. I'm never bored of these things. And that's how easy and that's how fun I've made these things for myself. No scarcity mindset. These are so important. These are so much more important than just having a bland goal, like getting the physique. You know what I mean? Most people, they just think, I want to get the physique. This video is just all over the place. It's just a shit show. But I'm telling you, the most important lesson that you can get from this video is that, this is what I've written down, okay? Why you're stressing, why you're not making any progress is because it all comes from stress and high cortisol levels, all right? You have high stress and cortisol levels that come from overthinking, and they lead to self-sabotage, all right? With extreme pleasure, with extreme binge eating, with extreme bullshit that you do every single day, whether it's playing video games or watching anime or whatever, right? And because you worry so much about getting the result faster, you have high stress and high cortisol, and that's why you self-sabotage. That is the biggest lesson that you can take away from this video. If you stress less, if you worry less, and how you worry less is by having a correct system. You know what I mean? I can't give you the system to get shredded. You have to make the plan yourself. You have to create everything on your own. That is the hard part. You can leverage AI, you can use ChatGPT, you have all of the things, but the worst thing that you can do is copy a plan from other people. If you try to copy plans from other people, it's over. It's over, because it's not authentic to your lifestyle. Just because somebody's shredded, just because somebody has better results than you, doesn't mean that their plan is optimized for your daily routine. You got to figure that shit on your own, and that is the hard part. That's the hard part. Most people aren't willing to, because it's hard. It's hard. You have to go through the experimentation phase where you're just failing and you're trying to increase and decrease the action, and it feels shit, and you have to question yourself and you have to doubt yourself whether this is gonna work out at all. And it's painful. It's hard. I have never said it's easy. I've just said I make it easy and fun for myself. I make the suffering fun. Even though it's hard, I make the suffering fun for myself so I can last for months. And that's what I've done. I've lasted for months. I have done this for months now. I've been on this journey for months now, and I've been on the overall journey. And this is not to brag, bro. I'm literally this is something that I've been ashamed of. This is something that I've been embarrassed of for so much time. Is I've done this for 1.5 years, and all of the pain that I've experienced, all of the shortcomings that I've had, all of the steps that I've made, which have been overridden by the binge eating sessions that I've done at nighttime, all of the sleepless nights where I've worried about all of the shit, all of the pain that I've gone through, all of like feelings of feeling behind in life, thinking that no one understands me. Why do I have this problem? Why do I have to be a guy like this? Why do I have to be this fat ass who just binges every single day? Look at all these guys on Instagram who are so much better than me. They're 18 years old. Look at how good their physique is. You know, it's probably genetics or something like that. It was never genetics. It was just their beliefs. You know, they were just more consistent than me. They had input more reps than me. And why I binge was because I didn't feel important. You know, when I wasn't feeling fulfilled because I didn't have any results. But I'm telling you, the results will not fulfill you. They will not fulfill you. Self-fulfillment comes from taking action. It doesn't come from strategizing. It doesn't come from overthinking or even thinking. It just comes from moving. You know, it's like the law of inertia, Newton's first law. I think it was like an object at rest stays at rest. An object that's moving, it moves, you know. I think it was something like that. This is why I've been I've been taking more maintenance days for the past few days, because I've understood the importance of rest and the importance of a long-term broad vision rather than a short-term shitty view of the world, where I'm just thinking about getting results fast and fast and fast and having this scarcity mindset and being drowned with results on Instagram. If you're on Instagram and you're not creating any content, that's the worst app on the planet to be on in the current phase that you're in right now, my friend. I'm telling you. Like when I was overweight and I was just scrolling on Instagram every single day, I was feeling so shit about myself, man. Seeing progress from all these people that I don't even know. But it was just making myself feel shit, you know. And that's probably something that I wanted at the time, because I was like, yeah, I need it. But the self-harsh talks never work out, man. That's why I don't call people out on my content. That's why I never do that Andrew Tate shit where I'm just talking to you in a harsh way, where I'm calling you names and I'm telling you you're wrong on this or you're doing this wrong or whatever. I may have done it in the past. Maybe I'm a hypocrite, but I don't intentionally want to do it. Maybe it just comes out of emotion. You know, it's not about shaming yourself. It's not about making yourself feel guilty. It's not about making yourself feel like you have a gun to your head and you have to achieve this result by this time, otherwise you're gonna get shot. That's just a shitty scarcity mindset that's been brought upon to you and inserted into your head by all these successful dipshits on the internet who are just constantly trying to put you in pain, and they're trying to put you in this painful situation so you think that, yeah, I can't do it on my own. You can absolutely do it on your own. You can absolutely do this on your own, I'm telling you. In the last 4 months, I've not really had that much of a mentor except myself. I've just coached myself. And documenting this on the internet has been one of the biggest moves, one of the best moves that I've ever done. And I understand a lot of people aren't able to do it alone. They need to have a mentor, of course, okay? You can have a mentor, but I'm telling you, the first 30 pounds to lose, it's so easy. It's so easy once you have the correct systems, because the only thing that was stopping me was my ego. And it was thinking that, yeah, I have to have this perfect plan. I have to follow this perfect formula. Otherwise, I'm a failure and I cannot really lose weight in the long run. When it was just, it was just about getting rid of that feeling inside of my head, that thought of, I want it 2 months faster. And what about just getting in the next 6 months? Have you ever thought about that? What about getting in the next year? What about getting it rather than trying to get it in the next 2 months and then failing hard? And you're going to be ashamed and you're going to be feeling shit about yourself. And in 2022, I was in the self-improvement phase, and I was very extreme. I went on a trip to Turkey. And now that I think about it, I cringe so much. I was going to bed at 7 p.m. Literally 7 p.m. I was going to bed. And I was trying to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, and just doing my work. I wasn't even doing work on a correct thing. This is where all the self-improvement, self-development, mental masturbation aspects come in. You know what I mean? Most of these things that a lot of these people are preaching and telling you to do aren't the things that are going to make you lose the weight. To lose weight, you just got to be in a calorie deficit. All of the other things are just extra. Understand that, please. To lose weight, you just have to be in a calorie deficit. That's it. To retain the muscle, you just have to go to the gym and push yourself hard on the weights. To fasten up the progress, you just got to do steps. That's why I don't recommend like 10K to 15K steps anymore. I don't do that shit anymore. As I've lost more weight, my energy has like dipped a little bit more because I'm going lower and lower in the body fat percentage rate. So I've made it like 8K steps right now, 6K to 8K steps every single day, instead of 10K or 8K to 10K. Because it's not about doing more, man. It's about doing less. Waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning, it did me nothing, man. It did me nothing. And now that I think about it, like right now it's the complete opposite, where I'm going to bed at like 4 a.m. in the morning and I'm waking up at 11. I don't have a job. I'm like basically a year off of school. I'm in my gap year, so I have the privilege to just do this. But even if people have a job, I think they can do that. They can literally do this. They can make a system for themselves that's so easy for themselves and so fun that they can just lose weight every single day consistently without even trying that much. Doing 2K, 3K, 5K steps per day, man. What about thinking about that? In the long run, you're going to lose so much more weight. Small dips are so much more better than one dip and then you wait, and then another dip and then you wait, and then another dip. That's why consistency is so important, man. Like, I didn't understand this shit, and that's why it led to my downfall. 2022, I was so much into self-improvement and self-development. I was so disciplined. 2023, I was a complete degenerate again. When it came to sleep, when it came to just binge eating and all that shit. And I don't mean degenerate in the dating sense. I just mean the self-improvement, that type of shit. I don't date. That shit is haram. Look at the people on social media. Look at the advice that they give, the hardcore hustle advice that they give. And then look at their vlogs. Find their vlogs. Are they looking like they have like, you seen that picture of that meme where there's a guy and he has that little like scratches in his head and he's constantly thinking, gotta lock in, I gotta lock in, I gotta lock in. He search, I gotta lock in meme. Are they looking like that, where they're constantly overthinking about locking in? Or are they just having fun? They're making jokes, and it's not just for the sake of the vlog. I think most of them are literally like this, where they're not really taking themselves so much seriously, but there's just a phase of time. I think the hard work is the consistency, man. I think we've been lied to, man. 100%. We've been lied to so much. Hard work is the consistency. Hard work is the small actions we perform every single day to become consistent in the long run, so that we can perform more actions during the day, or more of that one action. It takes years, man. It takes decades. It doesn't just take 1 year. Forget that shit, man. Get that shit out of your head right now, straight up. Because it doesn't work like that, man. It doesn't work like that. I've tried that so hard. So many times I've tried to like be this hard guy, who's tough guy, who's just working. Hard guy. Shit, man. And this tough guy who's just tried to lose weight consistently, and I was thinking I was consistent. I was literally preaching consistency over intensity even a year ago, but I wasn't implementing it. And I think a lot of people are doing that. They think they're lying to themselves. They think their situation is different. They think my situation is different. I'm different than other people. Look at me. Then make your plan different. Make your plan different. Make your plan adjusted to your own lifestyle. It's so simple. It's so simple. We just overcomplicate shit so much. Like, even right now, I just picked up my camera. I just recorded this video. It's not that complicated, man. It's truly not that complicated. It's just Take action. That's it. Take action. Just show up to the gym. Show up to the gym. If you cannot show up to the gym, wear your clothes first. Wear your clothes first. Pack your bag. Fill up your water bottle. Put on your shoes. Go to the gym. Head towards the gym. That's it. That's it. Those are the steps. You know, it doesn't get simpler than that. We're trying to find new opportunities. We're trying to find all of this new shit. When it was all about just making consistency easy to do. It was making showing up effortless and easy. If I can show up every single day, how can I lose? How can I lose if I can show up every single day? I did not show up yesterday when it came to the reels. And I had this perfectionist mindset again, but screw that. I did not show up yesterday, but why I didn't show up yesterday was because I had a perfectionist mindset and I was scared to show up. It sounds like I'm a pussy or shit like that, but it's literally like that. If you can't show up, it's because you're scared to show up. And you're scared to show up because you've made the action. Either the action is too hard by itself in reality, or you've made it too hard inside of your own head. Extremism doesn't win. In the last few days, I've just realized that again. Extremism doesn't win. No matter what we do, no matter what we try. If we're extreme, we're going to fail. And it will show. It will show in us burning out and not showing up every single day. And if you can't show up every single day, we'll fail. That's it, man. See you in the next video, man. Peace.